Hey, I have a question for you. If you could safely add 5, 7, even 10 miles per hour to your fastball, would it change your life? What if I told you there was a system already in place that could help you gain that velocity over the next 12 weeks? Well, guess what? There is, and we're using it every day to help guys just like you reach beyond their wildest dreams and achieve life-changing results. My name is Randy Sullivan. I'm a graduate of the Citadel, the military college in South Carolina, class of 1986, if you care about that. I was an academic All-America catcher there, and after graduating from college, I served for 10 years in the United States Air Force. 5 of those years, I was stationed in the frozen tundra of Cheyenne, Wyoming, where I sat in a hole in the ground as a missile launch officer, nuclear missile launch officer, and I waited for orders that thankfully never came. After 5 years on duty there, they sent me to San Antonio, Texas, to Fort Sam Houston, Texas, where I earned a Master of Physical Therapy degree from Baylor University. And then they shipped me out to Tampa, Florida. And once I got there, I had seen enough. This is where I wanted to stay. So I got out of the Air Force and I opened up a private practice. That was in 1993, right here in Brandon, Florida. And we've been doing that ever since. I'm a husband, a father. I'm married to the love of my life for the last 26 years. I have 3 sons. My 2 oldest sons are college pitchers. My youngest is a high school catcher. And I've been doing physical therapy and coaching baseball for over 20 years now. In 2008, as my son Ty, who we'll talk about later, was approaching his senior year in high school, we needed some answers. He wasn't throwing hard enough, and so we needed to start researching how to teach velocity. In July of 2009, over the 4th of July weekend, he and I traveled out to Montgomery, Texas, to the Texas Baseball Ranch to attend a boot camp there. And we gained so much information, it was an epiphany for us, and we realized that with the right kind of training, it could be done. And so we watched my son's velocity climb at a steady pace, and then I began to realize that a lot of these guys that were coming through my physical therapy clinic, which is actually located 2 doors down from the Armory Power Pitching Academy, a lot of these guys that were coming through and rehabilitating could benefit from the techniques that I had learned and the things that we had learned through our research. So I began to work with these kids, outside the physical therapy arena. We'd take them out to local ballparks, and we worked out at a racquetball court, an outdoor racquetball court, for a while. And pretty soon, word got around that we were helping guys get a lot better. And we went from like 2 guys to 5 to 10 to even 15 guys at a time coming to attend these sessions. And I began to realize that I probably should open up a facility because I really couldn't do this out in the public arena anymore on public property. So in February of 2011, we opened up the Armory Power Pitching Academy right here at 110 East Bloomingdale Avenue in Brandon, Florida, and that's where we are now. Between the February of 2011 when we opened our doors and March of 2013, we were really proud to have 16 guys hit a 90-mile-an-hour fastball. But more importantly, during that time, we did a lot of data collection. We decided that we were going to measure every single drill, every single repetition, every single hurdle, every single medicine ball, every single repetition of every exercise we did. We were going to record it and collect the data. My purpose in doing that was to try to laser focus our training, try to determine which exercises our most prolific throwers, the guys that threw 90, which ones they were the best at. And it was a real pain in the neck to collect all that data every time we had a class and every time we ran a session. But it turned out to be well worth it because in March of 2013 we concluded the data collection phase and we began to analyze it. And what emerged was a trend that showed that it wasn't really specific exercises that made a difference, but we did notice that our best throwers, the guys that threw 90 plus, were much better at the other guys, much better than the other guys at 4 specific types of exercises. So we took that information, we overhauled our training protocols, and that was the birth of this project that we call Engineering the Superhuman Pitching Machine, volumes 1, 2, and 3. From March of 2013 to the end of that year, we had an additional 33 guys achieve the 90-mile-an-hour fastball. And since February of 2011, we've helped over 200 pitchers tack on at least 5 miles an hour. 49 of them now, and counting, have surpassed the 90-mile-an-hour threshold, and 3 have even thrown 95 miles per hour or better. We've had 2 guys drafted, and over 60 of our guys are currently playing in college. But let's talk about you for a little while. Are you a parent? Are you a coach? Are you a player? I can relate to all 3. But let's be casual for a minute. Pull up a nice comfortable chair and let's talk. Maybe you can relate to the story of my oldest son. When he was entering his senior year in high school, he topped out at 83 miles an hour. He was a dominant left-handed pitcher on his high school team, and he played on one of the most elite travel ball teams in the circuit. He was the #1 guy in his staff, and frankly, he won just about every game he pitched. He had really good command, and he had a great arsenal of off-speed stuff, and you know what? Nobody cared. According to all the scouts and recruiters, he just didn't throw hard enough to play at the next level. So as he approached his senior season, I asked him this question. I said, "Do you really want to play college baseball?" "Yes, sir." He said, "I would do just about anything to get the chance, but I got to learn to throw harder." So I said, "Well, listen, buddy, I can see how dedicated you are to that goal, and I'm willing to go anywhere to do anything to help you. And together, you know what? We're going to figure this thing out." And so from that day on, I feverishly researched the science of pitching. After nearly 5 years and hundreds of thousands of dollars in educational materials, training and equipment, and travel, and all kinds of other seminars that I've been to, we've developed a complex but easy to understand system for safely improving a pitcher's velocity, command, and durability. Turns out you can work on all three things at the same time. We've used that system to help hundreds of pitchers achieve heights that they never dreamed possible, and we can help you too. We call it Engineering the Superhuman Pitching Machine. It's a video and workbook collection in 3 volumes. And it's a series that makes the process systematic and really easy to apply. The point is, if you've struggled to increase your velocity, I can relate. I've been there. And because my son and I persevered, an amazing thing happened. He achieved that 90-mile-an-hour fastball he was looking for, and he got a scholarship to a Division I university. What do we use? In Volume 1, it's all about building a beast mode, pitcher-specific power motor. Now, I didn't know what the word beast mode meant until a few years ago, but my kids taught me that it means just a really primal, just really aggressive, powerful motor. But listen, you can't just build any kind of motor. It has to be a pitcher-specific motor. And so in Volume 1, what we did is we took 40 different exercises in the 4 types of exercises that we identified as being the most critical, and we put them into a system wherein you could use 2 of each category every day and have a 5-day workout plan. And in doing so, at the end of the week, you've been through all 40 exercises, and you've done the drills and you've done the work to build that motor to make you a really powerful and explosive pitcher. In Volume 2, we unveiled how to conduct a world-class pitcher assessment to identify any physical or mechanical constraints that might be holding a pitcher back. Now, when we first started this project, there didn't exist any tool wherein you could combine the physical therapy knowledge and the baseball knowledge that I possess. So we had to create this, and that was the beginning and the source of this Volume 2, conducting a world-class pitcher assessment. It's been a vital part of our development and progress that our kids have made here. In this volume, I take you through a typical orthopedic screen. We put it into layman's terms so that everybody can understand it. It's really easy to use. And what we do is we take you through and show you how to screen for common orthopedic injuries like rotator cuff problems, Tommy John ligament strains or sprains or compromises. We show you how to check for things like shoulder mobility, hip mobility, ankle mobility, thoracic mobility, lumbar range of motion, core strength. We take you through the process for conducting one of the Gray Cook's functional movement screens, and we show you how to do a really in-depth and detailed video analysis to identify mechanical constraints or movement pattern constraints that might be inhibiting the pitcher. And then with Volume 3, it's time to take action and target your training. We customize and target the training with specific drills and exercises that match the assessment items that we covered in Volume 2, and we use those exercises and drills to carve away the constraints that we found in the assessment. You'll get step-by-step, line-by-line, itemized exercise list to show you exactly what drills and exercises you need to do to eliminate the constraints and to take advantage of all the significant opportunities that we found in the assessment. And then we execute the plan under proven scientific principles of motor learning that we learn in our physical therapy practice. And we sit back and we watch the magic happen. I got to tell you guys, it's happened so many times that I'm no longer surprised when one of our guys breaks through and hits it big. You know, I'm always thrilled, don't get me wrong, but I'm no longer surprised. It's all about the system. It worked for Dominic Monda. Let me tell you his story. He was a college freshman lefty topping out at 76 miles an hour with severe posterior shoulder pain. But he got to work and he used the system. He used Volume 1 to build that fast twitch motor that he needed. And then we used Volume 2 to conduct a world-class assessment. We found a lot of significant opportunities for improvement. And then Dom went to work and he used the corrective drills and exercises in Volume 3 to carve away those constraints and reveal the rocket launcher within. Dom is now the Friday night starter for a prestigious college program and has recently topped that at 92.7 miles an hour. Here's a picture of the first time he ever surpassed the 90 mile an hour threshold. You can see he just busted right through to 91.5. Unfortunately, we didn't take a picture of the 92.7 that he hit the other day, but we're proud of him. And listen, it's no mystery how it happened. He applied the system, the process. He worked his tail off. And so, again, we are thrilled for Dom and his success, but we're absolutely not surprised. And then there's Kevin Kelleher. He was released from his junior college team halfway through his freshman season. He came to us at the beginning of the summer, topping out at around 88 miles an hour. After a lot of hard work, he recently long tossed over 420 feet. That's right, 420 feet. And he threw a live pitch at 99.7 miles an hour. Here's a picture of Kevin's radar gun reading. We always record these. Listen, it was a real exciting night when he started to approach 100 miles an hour, but I got a little nervous because I got to be honest with you. When we first opened our doors, I promised all the guys that work with us that the first guy to 100, we'd have a customized fat head made of him and we'd put him on the wall. The thought of coming in every morning and looking at Kevin's fat head on the wall was not something that was particularly appealing to me. But nonetheless, it was a great night. We're real proud of the progress that he's made. But again, it's no mystery. He's applied the process diligently. He's worked his tail off. And again, we are thrilled for his advancement, but we're not surprised at all. Kevin's playing college baseball again and will likely be a pro very soon. And then there's Tyler Danish. Tyler used our system to throw 96 innings in his high school senior year with an ERA of 0.00. That's correct, 0.00. He didn't give up an earned run the whole season. He pitched his team into the Florida 8A state finals to the championship game. Here's a picture of him right before one of the most exciting moments of his life. When they won the game to get him to the Final Four. That's my 9th grade son there holding him up, and they're about to enjoy one of the most exciting moments in baseball, the dog pile at the end of a big victory. Tyler was chosen in the second round of the 2013 MLB draft, and he signed with the Chicago White Sox for over $1 million. Now he's a minor leaguer and he's working his way up to the big leagues, and we're really proud of his progress. He's a hard worker. He has a key to the armory. He comes in and works out constantly here. Probably 4 or 5 days a week, and again, we are not. We are just completely thrilled by his performance and his progress. But there again, not surprised at all. Listen, there's dozens of other stories that I could tell you about our Armory students. Really, too many to list. These guys were just like you, and they did it. So, I have a new question for you. Why not you? Why not now? Somewhere below this video, you're going to find a button. It's going to say something like add to cart or yes, I want this or something like that. I don't know what the web guy is going to put on it. But click on it now and let's get started on your countdown to greatness. And when you achieve the success you desire, just like all the other guys, I'll be thrilled, but I will not be surprised.